All right, fellow traders, welcome. My name is Fausto from Cyber Trading. How's everybody doing this wonderful afternoon? Let me just get a chat back. Henry, good to see you. Thank you very much. Robin, thank you very much. Everybody on YouTube, hopefully you guys you can hear me loud and clear. Just give me a chat back. I know we have our staff that are logged in. We have 2 rooms that are running on, actually, right? 3 rooms, actually. So we have a pretty big audience, so we kind of like spread around so no one has any issues. But anyway, hopefully everyone had a wonderful 2022. I hear people says, I wish I'd never heard of what happened in 2022. I always want to focus on the future, and hopefully this is going to be your opportunity to kind of take it to that next level where, you know what, whatever happened then is gone. Now it's time to focus, and you know what? Forget about the bad. Let's focus on the good. All right. What do you say? All right. So anyway, today we're going to talk about Trader's Toolbox. Now, what the hell is a trader's toolbox? Well, I have the 3 tools that must have for a trader. And, you know, I'll tell you a little about myself. I'll tell you a little about the traders. But before I do that, how about I make this very exciting? Okay. So this is what we're going to talk about right here. All right. I'm going to share my execution system. All right. So hopefully everybody can see what's going on my trading system. Now, if you look at this one stock, the KALA, all right, just look at this for a second, just for a little bit. All right, just look at this really closely. I'm going to blow this up. KLA was, maybe I'll go back a little bit further. There you go. This stock was a $3 stock. It's already today ran up to about $48. Okay. Now, you can go back in our YouTube channel. I know a lot of you logged in YouTube. You can watch our videos. We're live every morning here at 9 a.m. and 2:30. You can check out Twitter. And also you can log into our trading room, okay? And we've been trading stock ever since. Now, some of you might, oh yeah, I heard it from someone else. Listen, are you hearing it now? Have you heard it before? These are things we're going to talk about. Now, there are a couple other stocks too. There's actually a couple of nice ones today. Jasper was a good one yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw Jasper yesterday, but Jasper had a phenomenal run. This stock started right around 40 cents, went up to about $1 and shot up to about almost $3. That was yesterday. And right now we got a pretty cool one. We had 2 of them that moved pretty nicely this morning. We had Voss. This stock started right around here, around 9:30, about $1.50, shot up to about $3. And Gurn was also a pretty nice one, $2 up to $4. And the list can go on and on and on, you know, on and on. There's a lot of big movers. Here's, you know, SI, big runner up from 18 up to 22. And, you know, a lot of these stocks that we're talking about, you probably want to know, how did we find them? How did you know they were going up? What's driving them up? But that's why you're going to be here, and I'm going to blow your mind for the next 40 minutes because I'm going to teach you how this works. Now, before we do that, let me just cover a little risk disclosure. This is strictly educational. I'm not making any guarantees or promises that this works. There's no warranties, all right? You probably already know that. Just please trade very responsibly when it comes into trades market. Now, this is what we're going to learn. We're going to talk about the CTU best movers of the week. We're going to talk about how to scan the markets. We're going to talk about how to complete and follow the big money. We're also going to talk about how trades go against you. You know, everybody talks about the winners. You know what? How about the losers? How about the losers? Why do people lose money in the market? How do we control those losses? Because that's what everyone wants to really need to learn. These winners, you know what? I could put all the feathers in my cap. I'm a 12-time champion at the Traders Expos. I beat every school I competed against. Does that really make you money? You're here is to say, okay, could Fausto teach me how to do it? But I'm not here to teach you. But what I was taught being a market maker myself is that you have to learn to control those losses. Now, I've been doing this over 25 years. There's actually a photograph of me at the NASDAQ Center. I'm a regular guest at NASDAQ teaching people how to trade on something called Book Viewer. And Total View. It's one of the biggest things that you have to learn when it comes to trading. I'm also a regular guest time to time at some of the other financial stations. But one thing, if you haven't done already, is if you haven't bought my book, I got great news. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you 2 choices. You go to Amazon, pay $47, or I'll give it to you for free. Sound like a deal? So you don't want to miss it. So if you want to learn how to beat market makers at their own game, published by Wiley, one of the well-known, oldest publishing companies in the industry, I'm going to give you that opportunity to get it. Now, let's talk about myself. I just want to say how I got started, because you're probably sitting there looking at like, who the hell is Fausto Pugliese? Like, why am I listening to you? What makes you different than everyone else? Well, I was actually a bunch of kids, tormenting Wall Street, just like this big Forbes article is mentioning. And you could see that we used to trade on a 15-inch monitor. If you read any of the old books, I'm actually one of the original day traders. They used to call us So's Bandits. If you read the old books, you'll know what I'm talking about. But that's basically who I am. When I started, there was less than 1,000. Now there's millions of you out there that are doing it. So you're actually looking at your great-great-grandfather here that helped pioneer day trading, and I'm going to teach you how it all came to fruition. Now, I'm actually first-generation Italian. My parents came here from Italy for a better life. My dad, one of the greatest things that he always taught me, I want to pass it down to all of you, he said, listen, if you want to be good at something, go work for somebody that's really good at it. You want to be bad at something, go work for someone that's really bad at doing it. And we all know this, this is the opportunity. America was, the world of opportunity at the time when they came here. And, living in New York, what are we known for? The financial industry. Okay. That's what we do. So what did I end up doing? For an ignorant 22-year-old kid, I didn't listen to my dad. Okay. I went out there and I said, you know what? Why should I go out there and learn and go work for someone? I'll do it myself. Right. How many of you here are trading and doing it on your own? How many of you here went out there and try to do your own diet? You want to know how to lose weight? Go hire a personal trainer and go get a nutritionist. Oh, that costs money. Congratulations. How do you think you learn how to trade? You think you're just going to go out there and I'll just try and see how it works out. Let's forget about 22. Let's focus on 23. You want to be good at it, you got to work for the great traders. And let me tell you, what I've learned on the first day on the job when I finally said, you know what, let me go work for somebody, because I'm sick and tired of losing. I should have never made my first damn trade. And that's what all of you are going to learn today, fellow traders, because what I'm about to show you is Wall Street's biggest secrets, something you never heard from anybody. And I'm telling you, you're probably going to learn more in today's session in the next 5 minutes than you probably have spent thousands of dollars in a training class. How do I know that? Because everyone tells it to me. Now, I have two wonderful families, been married for almost 25 years. I think that's one of the things that kept my marriage, is that I get time to spend time with my family, because I have the freedom being in the trading market. And then I got my second family, which is my traders, and hopefully some of you will be one of those. Now, regarding about trading, can they see your orders? Well, are they fake orders? Are they real? Listen, when it comes to trading, trading is a game. You just got to know how to play the game. And I want to do a quick poll right here. So if you're logged in here how to in the one of the other rooms, just out of curiosity, could you guys just tell me, well, how does the market move in your vision? Is it news? Is it what makes things move? Just out of curiosity, how you all answer this question. All right. So it looks like a lot of you are saying buying and selling activity. Congratulations, you're right. Now, my biggest thing is this, okay? Who really trained you? I want to see, let me just see, get some answers on that. Are you self-taught? Did you take some paid classes? Do you have a private coach? Just out of curiosity, see what kind of education we have of traders in here. By the way, don't be embarrassed to say. Nobody can read anybody's question. Nobody can read anybody's poll or anything. Only I could see it. I only like to do it for my own self, education myself, because I'm always learning. I want to, because that's how I know by doing these polls is basically getting an idea on why people fail and lose. All right, so basically, it looks like a lot of you are self-taught. Okay, we have some people, a lot of you took some paid classes too, and so on. That's great, okay? Now, the reason why you're probably here is because you probably say, you know what, there's got to be an easier way. Maybe it's a little confusing. But before I do that, let me go out to, let me share one other thing with you. So this is what I'm going to do for all of you. I'm going to invite every single one of you to come in this room right here, okay? This is my ultimate trading room. Now, you could see right here on the left, we got Chuck, we got John, we got Mark. Look at all these traders. They're trading the stock KLA. All right, let's go back to that stock KLA. Right? These are real traders. You're going to meet all of them. I'm going to bring up KLA. Okay? KLA, since we started at 12 o'clock, right? What price was the stock at? 46. Look where it is now. $52. Did you still find it yet? Did you see anybody? Wouldn't that be cool to be in a stock at 47 and then selling it right now at 52? Could you imagine having 1,000 shares of that stock, making yourself $3? Actually, the thing made $1. $1, one single dollar is about $250,000 salary if you do that every day. Okay, so these are what our traders are doing, and these are where I'm going to invite all of you. But before I waste any of your time, let me teach you how they're doing it. Okay, because I think that's probably the most exciting part. So let's begin, and let's move this over here on the side, and let's get started. So, are you ready to trade? Going into 2023, because there's no better time to start learning and get educated now. Because listen, just like everybody wants to say, I want to start fresh, I want to start new. This is what it's all about. So let's talk about this past week, what had happened, because we had some really big movers. KLA, part one. KLA, look at all these traders, Alex, Charles, Chuck, a lot of these traders that are in there. They've been trading this stock, and look at these, Barbara. Look at all these people that they're saying. Barbara actually made $6. Stock went from $8 to $15, okay? This is the same stock I just showed you at 50. At 50. The stock's been moving. We've been trading it. So I'm not going to say I kind of like, oh, you came from nowhere and just picked it out. No, we've been trading the stock all the way down since it was down to the 6. And look what happened the following day. Brian, Chuck, Samuel, look at all these traders. They made $1. He made $1.50, $8. Constant traders making money over and over. Jasper, Jimmy C made some good money on it. Karen made some good money on it. Got in at $1, sold at $3.50. I mean, look at these traders that you're looking at. These are the people I'm hoping to make one of you, okay? I want to go out there and teach you how to trade stocks like this, knowing how to trade with other traders. Even a trial person that's in there made money, okay? Made 50 cents. 50 cents on 1,000 shares, if you ever do the math, on 1,000 shares is $500. That's $100,000 salary. Please don't tell me you don't want that job, okay? Because I know a lot of you are here are probably looking to retire. Maybe you are retiring. Social Security's not paying enough. Maybe college is not for you, whatever it may be. But the thing is, trading is for everybody. You just got to surround yourself with good traders, and you got to know how to play the game. Now, let's talk about this. Did you trade major NASDAQ and the S&P stocks? Of course you did. Of course you did, right? Tesla. Great short in our watch list, okay? Look at all these stocks that we're loading up on our Twitter feed, okay? Now, the big thing is, how do we find them, which you're probably asking, okay? I don't have a crystal ball. I don't even know what, the only time I ever saw crystal balls is on TV shows, all right? We just work through our big percentage gainers and losers. That's it. And you could see there's a lot of stocks in here, 94%, 73%. Look at all these stocks that are up. Let me bring up the trading room. These are stocks I'm showing you right here. These are the traders. I don't know if you could see it here on the bottom, but look at this, 193%, 130%. Look at all these things right here. If you can't see it, I'll even draw it for you and circle it right here. See it right there? Look at that. Look at all, that's what we trade off. We trade off our most active. I don't know what these companies do. I don't know why Cala is up again. I personally don't even give a crap. I don't think you do either. But you know what you do care? To make money, and most importantly, not losing it. All right. Now, let me move this over, and let me tell you how we figure it out. Okay. So finding them, like I just mentioned to you, is not hard. It's all about the big percentage gainers and losers. That's where they are. Okay. Now, the problem you're asking is like, there's a lot of stocks in there. How do you know which one is going to give you the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward? Because that's basically what we're looking at. We're looking for stocks like that. All right. So how do we find them? Is it news? Is it, technical analysis, a tip from a friend? Is it fundamentals? Listen, this is how we find it. We need to follow the money. That's it. That's the secret. You got to follow the money. You don't need to use all these special tools and indicators and these heat maps and all this, newsletters and all that. You just got to follow the money. That's all it is. Now, how do we follow the money? Okay. Well, there are 3 tools that you can use to follow money. There's something called level 1. Actually, there's 4. Level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. That's basically it. That's how you basically find these orders. So here we have here they are. Here's level 2 right here. Here's level 3, and here's level 4. Now, let's start off and let me teach you a little bit about what we're looking at here, okay? Because some of you probably look at this and you'd be like, yeah, I know I have level 2 quotes. Actually, I have a little poll question to ask. I'm sitting here talking, and you know what? Karen, Joan, Leon, Leroy, could you guys tell me, do you have level 2 quotes? Do you guys have level 2 quotes? Yes or no? Just put in the chat room. Mark, you have it. Robin, you have it. Okay, good. Brian, what about you? Okay, so level 2 is basically worthless. It was big in the 90s, but it's really not giving you all the content out there. And let me tell you what it is. For some of you who don't know how to read it, and just be patient for the ones that don't know what it is. But these are your buyers, and these are your sellers in these columns, okay? Now, the first column is a 4-letter abbreviation of a brokerage firm or an exchange, like the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ Exchange. Second column is the price that stock is trading from that market maker, that exchange. And the third column is how many shares. Now, everything there is multiplied by 100. Whoever wants to buy for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever is up, and whoever wants to buy for less money is down at the bottom. Same thing here for the ask. Whoever wants to sell for the least amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to sell for more money is down at the bottom. So basically what you're looking at is a big chat room of exchanges and brokerage firms where they want to buy and sell the stock. Now, this is the problem with this system, okay? It doesn't tell you all the orders. It just shows you a fraction of what's out there. So what do we need to trade? Something called NASDAQ Book Viewer. Now, I'm going to do a poll here. Do you have NASDAQ Book Viewer? Just give me a yes or no. I'm going to do a quick poll. Yes, no, I'm not sure. And just be honest while I have a sip of my coffee. If you do not answer this question, I'll just basically just classify you as I'm a no, okay? Because I'm not seeing everybody answering this question. Keith, did you answer it? Lucy, I didn't see you. William, don't let me pick on you. Listen, I'm not only, I take this class very seriously, okay? You got money on the line. This ain't a joke. You can lose it like that, all right? And it's a 90% failure rate. Just answer the question. Do you have it or you don't? That's all. I'm sorry if I'm a little brash, but like I get very upset when I see people lose money because I go to trade shows all the time and I always get people, they always want to blame you for it. Oh, you just want to, you charge money for classes and this and that. I'm like, listen, I'm looking to teach traders to trade with. I don't know about what, and you know what? There's just a lot of angry people out there. And I know, thank God that you guys are here because hopefully you're not going to be those angry people. But to learn it, you got to know how to do it right. Let me tell you what level 3 is, okay? I'm calling NASDAQ Book Viewer. Basically what you're looking at, now listen to me carefully because it's going to be quite disturbing because no one probably never taught you this. You have a seat on the exchange. Basically, end the conversation. Back in the 90s, you had to pay millions of dollars to have a seat on the exchange. Now, it costs you $15. So I'm going to ask everybody a stupid question. From the 90s to 2023, would you pay $15 to have a seat on the exchange? Yes or no? And I know it's a dumb question, and I want a dumb answer. And that dumb answer is exactly right, Mark. Exactly right, Bill. and everyone else. Of course you pay $15. Why would I not pay $15? I don't know. I really don't know. There are people out there that think that everything should be free. And let me tell you, my dad always taught me, nobody works for free. You don't want things for free. You just want a good deal. A couple of $1 million doesn't sound like a good deal. $15 today's time sounds like a pretty good deal. Now, this is from NASDAQ. This is not the Fausto platform. I'm not here working on behalf of a brokerage firm. This is actually the exchange, okay? This is NASDAQ. That's why I'm on NASDAQ. So you're seeing every single order out there on the bid and offer. Now, how do we apply towards trading? Well, remember what I told you. How do stocks go up and go down? Buyers and sellers. So we're looking at a stock right here, Coinbase, which I know everybody probably familiar with this with Bitcoin. Stock went all the way down to about $33. And you'll see here from 9:40 to about 10 o'clock, about 20 minutes, it had a tough time breaking 33.70. And eventually it says, I'm not going any lower, maybe I'll just go back up. And sure enough, it went from 33.70 up to 36. Why did it go from 33.70 and won't go any lower? Well, when you look at the exchange, you notice there's a lot of buyers out there, but when you get right down to 33.70, there's a 30,000 share buyer. Now, some of you might think it's a lot. Some of you think it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you look at every person, every price level, the average shares are about only a couple of hundred. Some of them even less than that. So 33,000 on the average is almost 300 times more than the norm that are out there. So I don't know about you, fellow traders. If I was thinking about, shorting the stock, I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to beat that guy. I wouldn't want to be against him. So if you can't beat him, join him. So you have to understand something. Support does not, now listen to me carefully, because this is something that no one probably ever taught you, and it's the opposite of everything that you were taught. Support does not exist unless you have the buyers out there. See, everyone out there is always looking what's going on in the past. I am here to teach you the future, okay? What is the future, you say? It's where everyone has their orders out there. While you all looking about, okay, oh, look, we're at support levels, we're at resistance levels, that's great. But the past is not always indicative of the future. The only way it's indicative of the future if those same buyers that were in the past that are in the future. So buyers equal support, not support equal buyers, which is what most people are taught. Let's look on the sell side. Here you have a stock goes from 23.60, goes all the way to 25.20, comes down, does a triple top, whatever the hell that means, okay? I know what it means, but forget about that right now. That's not important. What is important, which makes that stock preventing going higher, is that was a big seller. And it was a 39,000 share seller right there, okay? So 39,000 looking to be sold right at that price. That's the reason why it's down. Not some stupid triple top, not because of the 10 soldiers, not because there's more greens and reds, is because on the average, where you have a couple of hundred shares at every price level, 39,000 is pretty substantial. You're talking almost, 300 times more the average. Whose side would you want to be on? So resistance don't equal support. It's sellers equal resistance. This is what we call iceberg orders, big block orders. Now, I came up with that word after watching the movie Titanic. Very sad story. We probably all know about it. And you know what happens when you hit an iceberg? It's not what's on top of the water. It's what's on the bottom of the water. And everyone's always focused looking on top, okay? They don't want to take the time to look like what's on the bottom. And that's why people blow up their account. So let's go through a couple examples. Roku, okay? Roku is trending down. Now, let me ask, I'm going to have a little fun with all of you, okay? I want to have a little fun. You ever in a stock and it's going down? Okay, now a couple of things go across your mind. Do I take a loss? Is this the bottom? What is going to prevent a stock from going lower? What do we need for a stock to stop going down? What's your answer? Very good, Mark. Michael, Chad, everybody. Well, Jack, you do need demand, but at the end of the day, what do we need? We need buyers. Now, let's think about this stupid question I'm going to ask you. Do you see buyers on a chart? Because this is what happened in the past. No. Okay? So by finding that support, you need to look for buyers. Now, let's hop over here on NASDAQ Book Viewer. I'm looking at the buy column, and I see there's 51 shares, 300, 100. Oh, wow, coincidental. There's a 56,000 share buyer at $38.70. What do you think is going to happen when we get down to $38.70? Oh, I don't know. Maybe go back up, because that is what we call a demand. A buyer makes demand. It's almost like common sense when you really think about it. Now, by the way, every single one of you here, I am going to invite you in my trading room, and you're going to see this live, okay? But you don't want to go anywhere, all right? The most important thing that I'm doing right now is I'm trying to educate you how trading works. But I don't want to waste your time. If this is not something you like, you think is important to you, that's great. That's fine. At least you were here, you saw it. But if you're interested, you do not want to go anywhere, because I'm going to give you an opportunity, not for 1 hour or 1 day. I'm going to show you for 1 full week, okay? For and show you exactly how this actually happens in the market. So you're probably in stocks right now, and you're probably like, damn, is there any buyers in the stock that I'm in right now? Or I'm thinking about buying this stock, or I'm looking to sell. There's sellers out there. You're going to learn shortly. But as of right now, my goal is to just show you exactly what's going on right now. And what's going on right now is this. Where are the buyers and sellers? So let's look at this one. HTGM. You ever in the stock right now? It's going up. You're like, oh, I'm making so much money. I own it at 3. It's at 5. Well, do you ever have a game plan to say, okay, well, things don't go up forever, all right? You ever go into a stock and you don't want to take a profit and end up losing money on it? Well, did you see if the orders are out there? Because when you get to this stock, you got to have a game plan. You got to look at the future. And we go on the exchange to pay $15 stinking for this platform, which I still understand why nobody wants it or pay for it. And it's from the exchange. It's like from NASDAQ, like buying it from some third-party company or some somebody that you saw on a YouTube video or something like that, or an advertisement right from the exchange. 61,000 shares are looking to be sold at 510. So let me think about this. Stock's going up. I'm making money on it. People saying it's going to 6, 7, 10, but I got a problem. I got a 61,000 share seller out there at 510. Now it can get there. It can go to 6, 7, 10. But I got to get through this guy first. Do you want to take that chance? Because if you did, you know what happens? Stock goes down. And it can hit it and hit it and hit it and hit it. And guess what? You could make a winner, become a loser. Now, I'm going to ask everybody another dumb question. Did I lose anybody? Does that seem hard? Confusing? I don't think so. No, right? Think about it. I literally sat here for about 10 minutes talking about trading, okay? You are now just witnessing buyers and sellers out there. You're able to see that you have a seat on the exchange. You see people talking about all the time on TV, all the time. Everybody's out there. Oh, we got to tax the stock market. It's always about the stock market. Everyone's a bad person in the stock market, right? And you know what? I don't know if they're just jealous. I don't know what but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, why don't we just join them? Like, why are they always going after these people? Because they don't like us. We push buttons all day. Here you are like, damn, I'm sitting there working 8 hours a day, sweating, killing myself. And this jerk right here is just pushing one button. He's making money. Well, I want that job. I want that job. How did he do it? And then you try it and like, damn, it's like you think people are watching you. You just got to know how to play the game. Think about it for a second. Who really trained you? Who really trained you? You know what I mean? A friend? Yourself? Some guy, some gym teacher? I don't know. Some person that likes to go on vacation all day and show you fancy cars. Yeah, how did that work for those guys on YouTube? I mean, on all those crypto kids. Okay, they're not doing too well right now. Yeah, it was always nice going up there. They got lucky. You know what? You didn't make anything till you sell it. Right, Mark? They're not true traders. Listen, I'm getting back to tell you who I am. For some of you logged in late, I was a market maker on Wall Street. I worked for one of the biggest trading firms. And, and let me tell you something. The only reason why I was a trader and there wasn't that many out there is because just for me to get the book viewer back then to trade on this platform, it cost me $1,000 a month. $1,000, a 22-year-old. You tell a 22-year-old kid, hey, you want to learn how to trade? You got to dish out $1,000 a month. Yeah, let me know how that works out for you. Some of you won't even pay $1,000. Now you're saying I'll pay 15, right? I'll pay 15. Now, I'm not holding any punches. I'm not holding any secrets. You can go right to NASDAQ store and buy it yourself. You go to datastore.nasdaq.com, okay? But let me tell you what the problem is. I don't want you to buy it because I got to teach you how it works. You might do more harm to yourself than good by buying it. It's like saying, hey, here are the keys for the car. Here, you could drive your own car. Like, wow, this is awesome. Yeah. Would you give your teenager, never taught him how to drive, the keys to the car? You know what's going to end up happening. You give him the keys probably to his coffin. You just got to. But I want to show you. You got a week to be with me to show you how to do it, and we're about less than 10 minutes away. I'm going to give you that opportunity because guess what? I got a lot more to show you. Okay, I got something even better that's going to blow your socks off. That's even better than that. But we all know about breakouts and stuff like that, like time and sales. I'm going to cover all this good stuff. Because some of you may be like, okay, I see a stock, it was at resistance, then why does it go higher? Well, did anyone ever teach you breakouts? I'm going to talk about that, all right? But it all depends on seeing if these orders are out there and they're getting filled. Listen, there are buyers and sellers everywhere. Look at this stock, BILI. Stock had 100,000 shares seller at 21. And you're like, well, why did it go to 2160? Well, if you notice, there's something we call Fausto flags, consolidation. What happens? Someone bought it from him. That could happen. That could happen. So finding these support and resistance, learning breakouts are very, very important. But you got to know how to play the game when it comes to trading. Now, let's talk about something called level 4. Okay. Now, if you thought level 3 was pretty cool, wait till you see this. This is more of a heat map. All right. I'm going to show you this in our trading room. Basically, now you're going to see not just the NASDAQ market, but you'll see other exchanges, the New York Stock Exchange, the CBOE, all of them. They're all going to be aggregated into one order because you know what? There might be a buyer in one exchange, but he might not be in the other. Now you'll be able to see it. And not only that, you're going to see how long he's been out there for. Like here you have a stock, Pfizer. Stock goes from 56 and it hits a resistance at 58. Well, did you know that at 9:30, before it even got there, that there was a seller out there for about 104,000 shares, and he's been out there since 9:30? Wouldn't that be cool to see that on a heat map? They're like, okay, I see a seller out there, but like, how long has he been out there for? And did he add to his position? Did he get executed? How's that work? Okay, this is where things get very interesting. Let's talk about Momo. You could see here Momo moved up to about 830 and went to 836 resistance. See these big iceberg orders out here? 300,000, 500,000. Now, you could notice here that it now went from that price and it busted right through it and went all the way to 930. So knowing that you're at resistance levels and knowing if it's going to go higher and get through that big order, that's what you need to understand. Because you see stocks, like I said before, break support and resistance levels all the time. But how do you know if they got executed? How do you know if it's a real order or not? Well, I can tell you this, they're all real, okay? Let's go to XPEV. Here's an example. Stock goes right in the morning from 820, and you could see how it hits these resistance levels, and it really consolidates right around 1050. And as you look closer, there's over 250,000 shares out there looking to be sold. And from 10:15 all the way to 11:30, it never wanted to get past that price. Now you got to remember the stock was all the way down here at 840. If you bought the stock at 930, 840, knowing there was a resistance levels at 1050, at 1030, you would have made yourself, I don't know, maybe a good $2. $2 on 1,000 shares in an hour, $2,000. That's about $500,000 salary. Okay, I had a question that came across here on YouTube. What about fake orders in the order book? First of all, there's no such thing as fake. Anyone that tells you that there's a fake order out there, do yourself a favor, okay? Run. You cannot put fake orders out there, okay? The exchange won't allow you. Now, could you cancel an order? Sure. Could you change your mind? Absolutely. But there's no such thing as fake orders, okay? And if anyone told you, that person has an absolute clue what he's talking about. And you know what? And run far away. Next question is, what about the dark pool volumes, which we can't see intraday? So listen, that's not really true either. I don't know who taught you dark pools, but they're, like I've trained on dark pools. I used to do dark pool trading when I was a market maker. There are people out there that do teach it, that some of them are my instructors. So I don't know who really taught you dark pools. I don't know if it's one of my old instructors maybe, or it could be somebody else, but it's got a spooky name to it, dark pool, ooh, like Darth Vader, but nothing really to worry about. What you're really concerned about is the high frequency trades, the algorithms, the institutions. That's what you should be concerned about. Not somebody who's trying to hide an order, trying to, like, it's called cross trades with another broker. That's the least of your problems. Excuse me. Let's get over a cough. Let's look at an order that just joined the bid. Let's look at this order right here. See this little red line right here? And then, but up here, there's another one here for 86,000. You see that right there, how that order, now watch, see how the stock was trending down. And if you didn't see that order show up here at 680, now you went to 885, 890. Now we're getting what's called a ladder effect, okay? A ladder effect, not only does it cause a Fausto flag, or maybe some of you might want to call a bull or bear flag, but this is how these things form, through consolidation. Bids, 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 bids. That's what it comes down to. And by knowing and seeing that happen, that's going to help you get focused on when to buy it, and most importantly, how to hold on to a stock, because a lot of us will go out there and we'll trade a stock and we're like, well, I don't know should I hold on to it? Should I get out? And then sure enough, boom, you have these things that take off on you and you'll get crushed on it, Now, let's talk about indicators. By the way, how cool is that? How cool is that? You get to see a heat map, you get to see orders out in the street, you get to see all that good stuff. And you can do it right from the luxury of your own home, okay? That's what I love about the market. Now, let's talk about indicators. Anybody here use indicators? How many are out there? How many out there? Hundreds, right? You tell me right now, what's an easier stock to read? Where's my, oh, here we are. Chart number 1 or chart number 1 or chart number 2? What chart's easier to read? Michael, yes, there's a replay, but you're not going to need to see the replay because you're going to sign up right after this and you're going to want to see this live. All right? All right, so if you said chart number 2, you know what? I agree with you. But everybody wants to learn about Fibonacci's, everybody wants to learn about MACDs, everyone learns about RSIs, everybody wants to learn all of these crazy indicators. You know what you find out, and guess what? You know who invented the indicators? Mathematicians. Who do you want to learn from? Somebody that's going to teach you the past, or someone's going to teach you the future? I mean, that's where it comes down to it, right? So let me tell you, I would rather not use technical analysis paralysis, what we call it here, analysis paralysis. I'd rather just follow the orders. You understand? Like, listen, there are a lot of stocks that are moving today, and I showed you a few of them. Would it be nice to see where to get in and why it keeps going up higher. You think some indicator is going to tell you that? How's that working out for you, by the way? And you know what? When you find out yours does not work as well, then you go look for somebody else, and they're going to teach you the next best thing. You're wasting your time. Michael, I agree with you too. It's just so much easier using level 3 and level 4. Just follow the money. Follow the money. Let's focus on the future. Let's not focus on the past, right? What do you say? Because let me tell you something. You can't be self-taught to do this, okay? It's just not worth it. Go out there and learn from professionals that we do it all day long. And sometimes it's going to take you to learn from more than one trader. And we're very proud to say, fellow traders, that we've been endorsed by more brokerage firms than any school in the industry. And let me tell you something. These brokerage firms, they do background checks on us. They monitor our traders because they want to see how good they do. You got to remember something. If an average trader blows up their account within 2 months, okay? Do you think they want you blowing up your account coming in? You know what it costs them to acquire you? The acquisition cost? I don't know if anybody knows corporate America, but you know what the acquisition cost for an account is? They don't want to see you blow up your account. So they come to people like us, and we train you how to do it and make sure if it's for you or not. Because let me tell you something, fellow traders. Trading is not for everybody, okay? And I'll be the first one to tell you. So as much you might want to do this, sometimes you need someone to tell you the truth. You know, like had that good mother and father, you know, telling you, son, daughter, you're wasting your time. That's not a good person. Stay away from it. That's what I do when it comes to my traders. So, but there are some of you going to be like, you get it, you like it, let's go in. Let me take you on my back, you know, and let's go to work. But now is not a better time to learn. You got to learn. You can learn alongside with a team. So what I want to invite all of you here, is I want you to come and join my trading room. Now, I started the first online trading room in the industry. Okay, you're seeing them pop up everywhere. Where do you think they learned it? Some of them, like I said, some of them my instructors, some of my students, and I'm glad. And hopefully one day maybe you could grow up and do it yourself, because eventually you're going to outgrow CTU. We're not here to sell you a program and you can't live without CTU if you leave us. When I'm done with you, you're going to be able to teach everyone. And you know what? The only benefit the only thing I ask is that when you go out there, just tell people, oh yeah, I went to Harvard University with Fausto University. You know what I mean? I went to cyber trading, great school, taught me a lot. You know, they'll teach you the basics. I just found my niche. So, but I'm going to invite all of you in the trading room, and I want you to not to judge us on our winners. I want you to judge us on our losers and how few we have, and then most importantly, how we control our losers. That's what you have to understand more than anything. Now, this is what we do in our room. We have live audio broadcasts from 9 a.m. to 10:30. If you're on YouTube, we also broadcast live every morning at 9 and 2:30. But we only speak for about 10 minutes, and then we move everybody into the trading room. So if you're on YouTube, you won't be able to get in the trading room without registering first. Now, we'll come back in the afternoon. We'll trade the last hour. The first hour and the last hour are usually the best times to trade. Not that you can't make money in the day like in the middle of the day, but usually that's where a lot of the action happens. We also have some great Q&A workshops that we do, traders talk that we're going to do. Pretty awesome. Now, all this stuff is going to be online. It's live, and we interact with you. And I want you to, not, like I said, also judge CTU on our customer service, because we really take our customer service very seriously. We call our traders, we talk to them. We want to make sure that trading is you know, that you get it or not, because last thing we want you to do is make a dumb mistake. Now, a couple of questions came across here. Do you need extremely fast trading computers, fast internet speed? What's the ideal computer setup? You know what you need right now, Joshy? Nothing. You're in here, that's all you need, okay? Remember, when we invite you in the trading room, we don't want you to buy or sell anything. We just want you to watch. We want you to see if it's something that you like, that you get it, and then you can worry about all that stuff later, okay? So big thing is when it comes to trading, You got to learn how to trade. You got to learn how to play the market. So does this strategy work well for volatile markets? Of course it does. Of course it does. This is where basically it all starts, because without volatility, you're not going to make any money. How much money do I need to start? Which I think one of you also asked the question just earlier. Zero. You don't need any money to trade. Forget about it. Don't worry about that right now. That's the least of your problems, right? There's plenty of money out there, and if you need to, you'll find it later. What you need to realize is that, do I want to make this investment to go out there and do it? Because to do it, you got to see if you're capable of getting it, right? Remember, you're buying into a business. And what's the definition of business? I got this wrong on my test in college, but it's two words: making money. That's really the definition of it. So you got to see, I want to get into this business. Can I make money doing it? And then I'll worry about it later. So finding how much money you need is irrelevant right now. Listen, there's a reason why CyberTrade University has a 5-star rating on Google. For almost 30 years in the business, go there, read what the students have reviewed. See what they're saying about CTU. We also got a AAA rating at the Better Business Bureau. Okay? We're endorsed by every brokerage firm. Where are you going to hear that? Anyone here trained by somebody? Do yourself a favor. Look up on Google and look up their stars. Okay? Go on the Better Business Bureau. Okay? See how they're doing. All right? Now, granted, there are always people out there, competitors want to bash you, just angry people. You're always going to get someone. But half? I don't think you'll have half. All right? So now what is this going to cost? Now, that's probably the next question that you're getting. This is all it's going to cost right now. $9. $9. Now, you're probably falling off your chair and be like, wait a minute, I'm going to learn all this in a week for $9? Yes. Now, why is it so cheap? I'll tell you why it's so cheap. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you came from. I don't know your real name. Okay? We're not going to just let anybody in the trading room. If you can't afford to find $9, you can't afford to trade. I don't need you in the room. We're not going to bill you a week later, $17,000 and I don't need the scrutiny. I don't do that. This $9 is an application fee, just like some of you pay $100, $200 to fill an application to go to college. I couldn't believe that too. I didn't know that was that much. I'm charging $9. My kids were applying to college. Every single one of them wants $50, $100. I was dishing out like $2,000, $3,000. I didn't even get into the school, just an application. Well, now you're only paying $9. Okay. And the thing is this: if you're interested, pay the $9. If you're not interested, that's okay. Okay. But this is what you're going to learn in the trading room. Okay. From Monday to Friday, we're going to be open from 7:45 to 4:30. We're going to have live audio broadcasts. We're going to give you a Q&A workshop. You're going to get 3 pro workshops where I'm going to teach you how to use level 2 and level 3 and level 4. You're going to see how to day trade and swing trade. You're going to see all that stuff. You're going to get a trader's library. And as a bonus, as one more bonus I'm going to throw in there, for the first 20 people that register right now, I will give you a free personal coaching class. Now think about that for a second. How many of you took a training course? Thousands spent, right? Probably never spoke to the owner. Why would Fausto want to talk to you, Michael, you, Jack, you, Samuel? Why? Because I need to interview you. Right now, you're interviewing me. But then I'm going to have to interview you to make sure that you're the right fit for CTU. Because I am looking for traders I could train, that I could trade with. That's what I'm looking for. Okay? I'm not here to charge you, $17,000 and give you 800 hours of videos, and then you go figure out on your own and say, thank you very much. Okay? Like most people. I'm not looking to bash anybody, but there's a reason why I've been in business for 30 years. Okay? And for $9, I think we all could afford that. All right? So with that said, and you know what? It might not help you. It might not help you. And you might say, you know what? Like, I finally realized it's not for me. And that's okay. But I'd rather at least you spend 9, you didn't spend 900 or 9,000. That's the way I look at it. All right. And you know what, Timothy, or anybody, John, whatever it is, if it doesn't work for you, I'll give you $9 back. Just email me back. I don't need your $9. Believe me. Okay. I'll give you a money back guarantee. I'm not going to make you go over hurdles. All it just tells me that I know exactly who you are. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, I know we're getting a lot of people registering. Let's just do a couple of shout outs right here. Now, just got your registration, William. Listen, when you fill out the registration, there is a question. There's basically a questionnaire for you. Tell us, did you ever take training before? Do you have a brokerage account? Okay. Do you have level 3? Just want to make sure. How much money you're trading with? I think it's like 5 or 6 questions. Very important you ask those questions. And then you're going to get, everybody here is going to be given a education advisor. He's going to take the time to walk you through your portal page because we don't want to waste your time. We want to make sure you get the best experience as possible because I think a lot of you would jump in the room, be totally lost, which is normal. But let us explain to you first. We don't want you to get lost. We want you to have a good time, and that's really what comes down to it. Now, a couple of shout outs. Walter Lee just got your registration. Welcome aboard. Mike Barton got your registration. Welcome. Now, when it comes to trading, excuse me, everybody here, as you're registering, make sure the most important part of your education is to book your appointment with me, right? So I usually like to wait about maybe 3 days. You got to be in the room at least for 2 days. And I'm not talking all day, maybe an hour, if you can, but please do not book your appointment unless you were in the room. And you got to be in the day of when we talk, because I want to make sure that when you see certain things, I can explain to you what happened. So try to really make sure you book your appointment earlier than later. They do book up fast. A couple other people just registering. And by the way, let's just share these people with you. You can see them right here. James got your registration. Roger Flalock got your registration. Welcome aboard. Tom just got your registration. These are all the purchases of the trial just coming in. I see you guys come share it with you. All right. Tim, you got an appointment? Great. Look forward to it. What am I talking to you, Tim? I know you did a trial already, right? I think I have an appointment with you. I think it's coming up shortly, if I'm all right. Anybody else have any questions? Guys, it's Thursday? Good, perfect. Good, perfect timing. $9. There's over 100 people in here. What are you waiting for? Are you listening in? Or did you see what I was talking about? I mean, did you see the reviews, the 5-star reviews? Did you see what I was talking about? Let me go back. Sick and tired dealing with indicators? Don't you want to know how to follow on level 4? Do you want to see why these things go up and down the way they do? Do you want to know why NASDAQ wants you to learn how to use their book viewer? It's because they're sick and tired of losing money. Aren't you sick and tired of losing money? Don't you want to stop losing it? Forget about learning how to make it. Just go in the trading room. Let's get you in there. And you know what? Like I said, if it doesn't work out, I'll give you $9 back. That's all. Joshy, that was you chatting before. I just got your registration. Welcome aboard. Got you there. Okay. You got a walkthrough on Friday? Okay. Listen, you got to do your walkthrough first. Once you do your walkthrough first, then we let you in the room. Because listen, we have different lingos that we use in the room, traders talk. So we want to make sure that you understand, how to follow these stocks, the way they go up, down the way they do. Just like I was telling you about KLA. All right. It's Mark, I love that one. It's the price of a cup of coffee in Starbucks. It's well worth it. Let me share that. That's a good one. Haven't heard that one in a while. Yeah, no, I just went to Starbucks and damn, they're raising their prices. I guess, listen, they get into a point where They just want to. They don't want need to do the volume. They just want to do the quality. I guess they want to deal with everyone. But listen, it's a great job. And you know what? If you're not ready to do it now, just lock in the rate, and you could always book it whenever you're ready to start. You know what I mean? Like, so if you want to start next week or next month, at least you know you'll be part of the group. You know you can start. You start when you want to. But it's 2023. Let's turn the page. Let's forget about that terrible market we dealt with. We were down last year, okay? And let's focus on what's going on right now in the market. Let's focus on a lot of the good things. Listen, KLA was up literally almost 5,000% in less than a week. Why wouldn't you want to learn why that thing went up the way it did? How many of you guys were ever in a stock that was up 100%? We do it every day. We're in stocks up 100%. You don't need to make 100% on a stock, but if you can make a fraction of that, it's a numbers game. It's not a dollar game. Jack has a couple of good questions. Bill, looking forward to seeing you. Thank you very much. And thanks for listening, Bill. Jack has a good question. What happens after the trial? Do we have other options to continue? Yes, Jack, and we'll have that conversation after you realize if this is something for you or not. And if it's not, you're not going to move forward. So don't worry about that right now. Right now, all you have to worry about is that it's $9. You get into the trading room, okay, and you could see it. It's not cheap. You know, with all these great things, and we're giving it to you. So we're giving it to you as a gift. But as of right now, you know, that's the least of your problems. Think about this. Think of you dealing with public transportation your whole life. And I just introduced you now you could drive your own car. And you're like, oh, damn, like, how do I get it? What do I do? Let me show you how to drive it first, because it might not be for you. I don't know you. Maybe you don't need a car. Maybe you're a person that lives in the city and don't need to spend all that money in parking in a garage or whatever. Or maybe you do live in the suburbs and you have to. But I guess if you got this far, you're probably almost there. But let me show it to you live in the market in the meantime. All right. Any other questions, fellow traders? Like I said, see there's a bunch of you guys still coming in. I see orders still coming in. I'll make a couple of call outs as it happens. All right. So anyway, with that said, as everybody's registering, I first like to thank all of you guys for being here. I hope you learned a lot. Like I said, it's only $9. Let me show you how to use level 3, level 4. Come, let me take you under my wing, show you what it's like to be a market maker. Let me introduce you to some traders out there, show you exactly how they think for themselves, how to control those losses. And then hopefully this will be a career, and hopefully this will be something to help you not live off, but build on. And that's what it's about. All right. So thank you very much, everybody, for listening. I'd like to thank the staff also for helping all of you be getting in here and answer the questions, and also our partners. And like I said, how do you get my book? When you register for the $9, there's going to be a link there to get the book. Okay. So you'll be able, that's how you'll basically get it once you get registered. And if any issues, we'll email it to you. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Happy trading. Be safe, and see you in class.